getting ready to celebrate St. Patrick's Day here. For all of you that are not familiar with the show, this is Simply Stated. We're in season 5, Odds and Ends, and Tuesday will be St. Patrick's Day, and I'll be doing my Peace Puppies Prosperity concert on YouTube here at Deborah KC. I hope you can make it. It'll be really fun. I'm gonna get my beads on for St. Patrick's Day and get started on thinking a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start out singing some Sheryl Crow like usual because that's fun. Do you change or do you good to start? Hope you're all having a good night wherever you are.
Of course, third grade is when I learned Liberty Mutual could save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
Ten years living in a paper bag. Feedback baby, he's a flipped down cat. He's platinum canary drinking Falstaff beer. Mercedes rule and a rented lear. Yeah. Bottom feeder, insincere. Prophet lo-fi pioneer. Sell the house and go to school. Get a young girlfriend, daddy jeweler. A change would do you good. Having a change would do you good. Hi. God's little gift is for the rag. Pussy girl posing in a fashion mag. It's canine, feline, chocolate high. Wear your fake fur, on the inside. Queen of South Beach, aging blues. Dinner's at 6, wear your seaman's shoes. I thought you were singing your heart out to me. Your lips were sinking and now I see a change would do you good. I think a change would do you good. It's a music break. It's like the world's tiniest St. Patrick's Day hat. A change would do you good. I think a change would do you good. Chasing dragons with plastic swords. Jack Jimmy, everybody wants more. Scully and Angel on the kitchen floor. And I'm calling Buddy on the Ouija board. Yeah. I've been thinking about catching a train. Leave my phone machine by the radar range. Hello, it's me. I'm not at home. If you'd like to reach me, leave me alone. I think a a change would do you good. Hello, it's me. I'm not at home. If you'd like to reach me, leave me alone. I think a change would do you good. 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 Wait, I was thinking one more before we get into the show. Yes, I'm on OnlyFans at Deborah K DEBORHKY. I have like almost daily shows on there now, and then I have like daily pictures too. You like that kind of stuff too. So, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Alison Krauss. That's not really a. I was trying to think if I might practice some Irish songs before my concert on Tuesday. So I'm going to be back here on YouTube on Tuesday night or in the evening for St. Patrick's Day during my Peace, Prosperity, and Puppies concert. And I'm going to go ahead and sing for a little bit. Hopefully you'll all make donations on Venmo. I guess I'm going to go ahead and start off the show with Safe and Sound, originally from Sheryl Crow. I think that might be a good one.
Your Safe Light replace.
Ooh, that's rough. At least with Safe Light, you can get that fixed any way you want. Anyway.
Maybe this is forever, forever fades away. Like a rocket ascending into space. Could you not be sad? Could you not break down? After all, I won't let go until you're safe and sound. Until you're safe and sound. To please but you and me. I don't blame you for quitting. I know you really tried. If only you could hang on through the night. 'Cause I don't wanna be lonely, and I don't wanna be scared, and all our friends are waiting there until you're safe and sound. Until you're safe and sound. Until you're safe and sound. saved you. I feel like I could have saved you. I feel like I could have saved you. Yeah. So, anyways, we're into another episode of Simply Stated. This is Odds and Ends, and we're going to be talking about some really interesting odds and ends that have come out recently.
This is MacBook Neo. An amazing.
That's sort of the drawback of using karaoke on YouTube, is that they want to throw ads in, so I have to be really careful. I'm going to put in some Irish music because we're getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. So, some of the show has been about my issues, like, not my issues, but I mean, the issues I face with labor trafficking, and then we're doing counterterrorism and current events. I know that when I lived in the Washington, D.C. area, I lived there for 19 years, there was a huge movement by the Department of Justice back in the 2000s, and then the rest of us, literally, like, the International Coalition, people from South Korea, Japan, Canada, the English, probably even the Irish, and a whole bunch of other countries in Latin America and even Africa that were just sick of the labor trafficking issues stemming out of Endeavor Corp, which is run by Silver Lake now. But Silver Lake's actually still Patrick Witzel and Ari Emanuel and all those people, and you have Caroline Silver added, who I've shown you pictures of on here. So we're going to go through all that, because there's been some new stuff that came out recently. Caroline Silver and Sam Silver are noted labor traffickers of kids, like overt traffickers of children, having them raped and beat up on my mom, and she died. And there was the long process, of course, of her having been murdered before 9/11 happened, which turned out to be a Russian FSB event. It isn't just inaccuracy in media, it's paid media that doesn't tell you what's really going on. And so why would you even want to bother with a lot of it? So it's an accuracy in media project, and it's important to note that because there's been some recent events and business transactions. It's more fully come to light now that Trump is directly, he wasn't just somebody that was a client in Endeavor. For those of you who don't know this, Sam Silver was also known as Corey Feldman, the actor, and not Corey Haim, but Corey Feldman. And so it's important to note that because he accused Trump of being, they started the whole Russian collusion thing and then set it up to be a canard, and during the years I was living in D.C., I just had to go with the fact. I said, well, I think he's somebody that has had some problems with them and has been managed by them. What you have to remember about that is that Endeavor Corp, remember Patrick Witzel beat me up and said I couldn't be managed by them, and he didn't want me to be in Hollywood, but I had to be labor trafficked because I wasn't Russian. So he basically just is in the old idea of thinking everyone has to be a slave if you're not Russian. And honestly, his group hasn't reversed their stance at all. It's a terrorist organization. It's supposed to be the biggest agency in Hollywood, but all that's really happened is that the rest of the world has just reconfigured themselves and, learned how to handle it better. A lot of us are poor and struggling, but for me, I go through daily events almost where I have to deal with stalkers related to the Russian FSB, which is actually Endeavor Corp, and which is a Russian FSB and Chinese CCP company. It is mind-boggling because I make the reports. Money in Michigan has been pulled out of welfare programs by Endeavor Corp. And apparently the Trump administration is using it. So this is not like the US government, it's the US presidential administration that Trump is actually using the money through in private practices, which is grossly. It isn't even just that it's illegal, it's literally the point of, how high a charge do you want to put on this guy? I mean, I'm pretty sure in a different era you'd be executed for that as a president. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. iHip News already came out and said that they figure Donald Trump will die within the next year. They don't expect him to live more than 5 years. That's a liberal organization that I think also might actually be Russian, so maybe they're trying to find out if anyone knows when he'll die, but I peg them as being a Russian group, not really a lefty group, but they're basically Russian information, so if they're saying that they think he's going to die in the next year to 5 years, and that's it, like his own people, for those of you who get confused, I don't think it's truly a lefty show. I think it's actually a Russian show, reflects their ideas, but anyways, I like to consume all kinds of media and find out what people are thinking, or like what they'd like everyone else to think. That's the important thing to do, right? Get lots of sources of information, and it works out. For me, I think the biggest frustration is that I had wanted to be a nurse and then couldn't finish nursing school because of the drama, and it was during the last Trump administration. It's very much their fault. Of course, they're probably stupid enough to think it's a lawsuit. It isn't. It's actually felony charges for interfering with the U.S. educational system. But anyways, I'm going to go to current topics beyond that one. So that's my situation. Like, I'm doing, my shows and OnlyFans, and then, but, I mean, nobody would, want to just do that, right? So, I was on Snapchat. I decided to try it out for promoting products as well as the shows and everything else, and music and all that stuff. And what I noticed is Snapchat is just super weird, if y'all didn't already think that, but it's got a bunch of people on it that are just super weird guys. They're very demanding about sex to people, which is really weird. It's like a type of harassment. And then if you don't reciprocate, they get mad and report you and say you were being sexually explicit when you said nothing to them. And then to make it even more strange, they ended up being just totally weird and I don't know how to describe it. Basically, I would try to promote OnlyFans on there, and they would literally just come back and report me and say that I was engaging in bizarre sexual behavior or something on Snapchat, and it's like, well, I'm not posting anything sexual, I'm being harassed. So it's basically a site that I found, and I told Snapchat and reported a bunch of them. They said I was correct. So Snapchat knows they have a problem with this stuff. I decided the thing to do was just not to use Snapchat anymore, because if there's that many weirdos on there freaking out and being psychopaths, because it's very much a psychopath behavior to project their feelings onto you. So they're being a pervert, they're being a weirdo, and they want to report you. And they were mad at me for just posting that I was on OnlyFans, which isn't the same thing as a guy soliciting me for sex. Right? Literally asking if I would, provide escort sex. And this guy was up in Traverse City, which I don't live in anyways. I'm just telling you because that's about as weird as it gets. So Snapchat, too weird, too psychopathic, not worth your time. I want to review an old topic since we are in sort of Fashion Central and it always comes up. Some of you probably remember this from the other shows, but one of the issues I went through with Michael Swanberg and Endeavor is they kept beating up on me because I had fashionable clothing. And I didn't know what they were talking about. And I saw it later. What it is that a bunch of the different designers who don't like Patrick or any of his people, or Endeavor Corp, and that includes Caroline Silver, Sam Silver, Fatina, Jackie Wilkie, the whole Luther College crowd out of Endeavor Corp, Ari Emanuel, all of them. Probably don't even like Shapiro. They've always used me as an artist model and wanted to use, basically they would get inspiration from me and sometimes would gift me with items for $1 or $2. which designers have the right to do, but they wouldn't send it to me in like some fancy box or something. They would give me like off-label stuff, and that's pretty common for a lot of them to do, and they do it a lot with domestic violence victims in general. And Michael Swanberg actually like was beating me over this, and so were a bunch of these other stupid people that were part of, you know, Patrick Whistle's circles out of Hollywood that were just angry that I was being given anything. Like anyone. I mean, not just me, anyone. And claiming that I was some horrible person who was working for them secretly as if it would be their business if I had been, because it isn't. And getting angry over me having better clothing than them. And the truth is that even if you see me today, you'll probably notice I have stuff that looks pretty current. The designers just like me, and they'll, you know, they visit places I'm at. They don't necessarily talk to me about it. They look at my Instagram and other YouTube, and they just get ideas. And that's typical of artists. Real artists could literally do the old-fashioned exercise with like an apple and a banana in a bowl, look at it, draw it, get an idea from it, right? So there's something pretty severely wrong, obviously, with Michael Swanberg and Michael Kroll and Patrick, but same with, you know, Caroline Silver and Sam Silver and these other people, like, literally scream at me and, you know, say, just give me my things. In fact, this is something Pam Bondi and Hillary Clinton confronted me about in the past. Because Hillary Clinton's in that weirdo, like, Epstein MAGA cult crap group, and came out this week that she was in support of Donald Trump's policies in Iran, so it couldn't get any worse. But the point about all of it is that, you know, I was literally being attacked and beat up on for being stylish and for being a natural artist. And the reality is that anyone who's a natural artist is just simply going to look good. I mean, they're going, you know, they can do things on their own. And it's just, there's a ridiculousness, especially in the Hollywood industry with the entertainment shows, you know, Academy Awards, Grammys, Emmys, Golden Globes, because they're giving awards to people who haven't actually earned any of the material themselves. And by that I mean, didn't make it, didn't produce it, couldn't write it, will scream and yell at you. You know, people want to pretend they're an actor and somebody else has to do most of their acting for them, and somebody else has to stick a face on them. They're completely dependent on these Russian FSB guys. I told you about how, like, Craig Bergam and also supposed to be Scott Sazak, like, used to demand that I, like, hold the mic too close and not sing. It was supposed to be dependent on them, and I didn't want to be because I could actually sing just fine without them. And, you know, and in all of this, you have to consider, too, that just change of topic, like, well, let's not change the topic totally. The point is that the industry itself is full of people who don't have any talent and they can't perform on their own. You know, being a singer means you can sing without a microphone. Being an artist means you can perform your art without assistance from someone else. If you're completely dependent on other people to do it for you, you don't have it. Period. And what I got frustrated with was that I saw a lot of these weirdos around the industry, and Katherine Heigl is actually one of them, because Katherine Heigl is actually a man, that wanted the rest of us to be completely dependent on them and just screwed stuff up for people all the time. Like, Catherine created Indeed. Indeed has, like, nothing on it for real jobs for anyone. I mean, I don't even believe anybody. If somebody says they used Indeed to find a job, I just, like, that seems totally impossible. I've never found any job at all through Indeed. Like, ever. Ever. So, and I was someone who went through, like, years and years of abuse for all this, so. But changing topics, I mean, the one thing I was trained to do was literally to be a performer and an artist coming out of high school in Wisconsin, and I haven't been able to use that to make a living. So what I'm talking about is a larger issue with, you know, Endeavor Corp has literally been sucking the money out of the U.S. And I mean, Fatina had said, like, 20 years ago, back when she was, or God, it was probably the early 90s, she said she was going to destroy the whole country and she'd leave when it was destroyed. And she just planned to suck all the money and opportunities out of it. It's like, why are these people being allowed to still operate? Because they're constantly running signal systems, they're constantly attacking people. I mean, how many of you live through pulse attacks on a daily basis in your lives here in the U.S.? It just seems totally unacceptable that somebody will let that continue, and yet we have a president right now who seems to be at the point of just constantly attacking everyone over it. You know, the dumb brats of the world, they just want to send everybody a headache. You think, what in the world is any of this even about? And they get paid to do it, and there needs to be a prohibition on that. It literally needs to be illegal for you to call up Labad, CIC, or Accenture, who's on Hamilton, and demand somebody else have a headache. You know, like that their home be attacked. That's just completely weird. Something has to be put a stop to it. I know I get them way too often still. So, I mean, when you look at, like, Hollywood stuff and the issue of labor trafficking, it's Russian FSB, Chinese CCP, they have no raw talent. They still put their names on other people's work and bitch and complain about it when anybody catches them on it. I have to tell you something. Corey Feldman actually wrote the Imagine Dragons song "You're a Natural." I can't think of any other song that sounds more weird and old man and angry and just pissed off when he's saying "You're a natural." And he's literally just angry at everyone because he's got in trouble for the stealing kids, the pedophilia, the drugs, the organ trafficking, and tax fraud evasion. Tax evasion. Massive tax evasion. Where's Pam Bondi prosecuting that? And she's not. And she's Pam. Pam is actually Paula Gordon out of Janesville, Wisconsin. Used to have a daughter named Erin Gordon that she had murdered and sold her organs. Had a beautiful daughter, great future in front of her, and she just destroyed the whole thing. Because she'd rather destroy her life and sell her organs for money than, let her live it. Or even enjoy having a child like that in her life. She's a really miserable psychopath. And currently complaining to everybody that she has a horrible, horrible life, and, all the drug dealers are after her, and all the Epstein victims are after her. Poor thing has to go live under military protection. I think Pam Bondi actually needs to be physically restrained because she's completely out of control. Her behaviors are just completely insane, and she's been putting out, guerrilla signals and attacks on people. It's just time for her to be, I think, out of the country altogether. Is what I would want to do. But obviously, being that she's still in the attorney general role, she's going to end up having to be, what is this now? She's just being watched? She has to be babysat until she's, thrown out of the job or put in prison? So, there's a definite onus here by the U.S. government, especially at least the rest of the government, to put the Trump administration in its place. There's been a lot of bizarre accusatory statements towards poor people and the middle class. When you consider that J-Lo, who I call J-Hag, has a long history of not paying taxes, and Trump is sucking up all this money right now, you've got a long list of people who owe taxes that are billionaires or even millionaires out of Hollywood, guilty of labor trafficking, etc., that haven't paid their taxes. And frankly, the American people, the middle class, and even the poor people are being relied on to pay for all this instead of these other people that have more than enough money that actually need to be held accountable and pay their taxes. They're wealthy. And they're not wealthy through actual work. They're wealthy through labor trafficking. Or just stolen people's money. Another way all this plays out, is that before literally every award show, the designers pulled out of working with a lot of these so-called celebrities. Like Meghan Markle, crashed Dior. Dior won't dress her anymore. I think it was either Chanel or Gucci finally got into a lawsuit with her because she wore some clothing and then returned it instead of, paid and then wanted the money back. So now she's stuck being sued. I don't really think a lawsuit's enough with her. But I think you have to do what Dior did and just stop doing anything for her. But Dior had to physically have her thrown out of their property. The point about all this is that, there's a level of entitlement there and spoiledness and psychopathy that really messes up other people's lives. And it's just important that something be done to put a stop to it. It just has to end. But, I would also say that, frankly, there's just a really serious issue there with, has anybody even looked into Meghan Markle's taxes? There's a huge number of these people that, long list I've given out of people that owe taxes to the U.S. government haven't paid. And these are all people that are part of the 12-step groups that Trump is in. A lot of people don't realize this. Donald Trump himself, topic change again, is a drug addict. It isn't that he was an AA person. Well, no, I think he was an AA person, but he also went to Al-Anon, but he used to harass victims, and a lot of people stopped going to the groups over it, support groups. What I found is that they were full of terrorists, and you wouldn't want to be in them. They beat up on and raped and murdered a lot of women in them. My mom had gone to AA. She wasn't really an alcoholic and didn't belong in it. And what turned out was the group was really just to try to stop people from engaging in terrorism, but since all the people in the groups just sat around and planned terrorist attacks, there was no point in being in them. So, I'm just saying, they're, he's an addict, he's a borderline, he's Russian FSB. I just don't understand why we're tolerating continuing having him as a president at all. I just don't. I think a lot of people have decided to do what I do. I just get up and focus on what I need to do for myself and ignore him and his stuff. And I actually ignore the news of the Iran war. Because this thing with Epstein just isn't going away. It's just really not. So, the pedophilia. I mean, it's just so obvious now that he's a pedophile, is what I would really note for a lot of you watching. It's just way too obvious. Ugh. No. Oh my gosh, there's too many political ads already. I don't want to hear any of them. So, I mean, as far as Iran, there has to be some accountability. There doesn't seem to be any currently. I need to note for you a few different things. So there's been a number of attacks recently rounding up to the Academy Awards. Yes, it's tied to the Academy Awards because you have the cult of ISIS around the Academy Awards, which no one is addressing. I mean, how many times have we done shows for the last couple of years detailing all the crime that happens before awards shows? But you had UVA. So it's important to know that Bob Orgazali, who works over the Jefferson Theater, is actually Caroline Silver. And is a terrorist who was part of the shootings at UVA in 2022. It's also important to note that the Shannon and Clement libraries were evacuated this week. Temple Israel here in Michigan was attacked. A security guard was injured. Dozens of law enforcement officers were treated for smoke inhalation. She's also been up here. She was in West Branch and she's been in Traverse City. It was noted 41-year-old Ahmed Mahmoud Gandhi is a Lebanese-born U.S. citizen, was supposed to be responsible for it, but knowing that she's been up here and around, they're not getting it right. I'm just tired of it. The FBI is not doing their job. Because these people, they know who's responsible for this and who's organizing it, they're not arresting them. I don't need UFC. So you're going to have, somebody that, their parent company runs UFC, so you're going to allow terrorist attacks from them and you're going to blame some other guy, or not go fully forward with getting the whole group. That doesn't work. Or is this name just even made up to say they caught someone? Thursday there was a shooting at Old Dominion University. Cal 1 was Muhammad Jallah. Friday there was something, anyways, I don't know if there's anything Friday actually. I think the point about all this is that they've known about Caroline Silver, who runs Silver Lake, the Sam's over for a long time, decades, and they're not doing anything to stop them, and it's just really unacceptable. And these aren't U.S. citizens, they're people from Russia. So, it's something to think about. And these are all key events by the cult of ISIS leading up to the Academy Awards, and for them it's just part of doing the Academy Awards. I told you about how they wanted to take over the Academy Awards and make it their event entirely, and I know a few people that go still to those events to try to get intel on them and collect information, but most of the people are just in the cult of ISIS, frankly. I need to cover again Amy Reynolds, for those of you who are in James, Wisconsin, and she turned out to be Captain Heigl. It's a man. It's important to note that she was part of the group with Jamie Lee Curtis, Charlize Theron, Taylor Swift. We talked about Jamie Lee Curtis was also Lucy Barnes. Katherine Heigl is Amy Reynolds. Charlize Theron by the name Rachel Darrow. And Taylor Swift was also Tanya Walters. They're all clients of Michael Swanberg's, and they were all men. And frankly, in the Weirdo Club back in Janesville, Wisconsin, that used to literally wear these weird leather belts and talk about the beat on women, would take charges and hit women, and sometimes kill them. And frankly, have hit women and killed them at Hollywood events. I know there's been a move to try to stop some of that, but the reality is there's a lot of people today that, if you weren't in their weird Russian FSB club, their cult of ISIS crap, they'd end up just beating you, or you might even die going to attend one of these entertainment events. So I don't think they're fine. I don't want to be at them. But, they all kind of look like two, all male. Use the contracting companies, Labad, CXA, Accenture, Booz Allen Hamilton. I guess Palantir is a spinoff of Booz Allen Hamilton. But they're dumb people. No one want around, and they're hateful towards women. And they're all pedophiles, and people who don't belong free. The reality is, it just something has to change more dramatically. I think because today they're all still traveling on the U.S. and attacking people. Get off. I'm going to change topics again. Get off TikTok. I found something out today everyone want to hear. So the Trump administration took a $10 billion payday This is very weird as a fee for taking TikTok. Oracle, MGX, and also Silver Lake, which is the pedophile company, Caroline Silver and Sam Silver. Remember the child I testified on the behalf of, and then Caroline was involved in raping and beating my mom, and she's got this long history of pedophile abuse of kids. And I put up all these pictures of her. She also posed as Junior McGarrahan in the PCUSA church and is a pervert. I'll look it up for you. I'll show you some pictures so you can understand. Because this person poses as a pastor and it's a huge pedophile and trafficker of children. And it spends all his time sending radio signals and like attacking people, so. Right, so this is Caroline Silver dressed up as Junior McGarrahan. Okay, so that's a nasty fat suit and weird makeup. Here's the same person. I'm just looking for. I'm just trying to find the picture here. Hold on. Just trying to find a really good picture of her so you can see what this person looks like. Otherwise, it'll change itself around. So you need to know. See, this is, okay, this is the two of them here. So that's Corey Feldman and Caroline Silver, but he goes by the name Sam Silver. So this is all like makeup and weirdo crap, like changing themselves around. She's actually Iranian. So it's an Iranian business deal. I mean, and he pretends to be Jewish, but he's not, he's just Russian. The reality is they're both just Russian. Like, the whole thing's just ridiculous. But anyway, so they took this deal to take over TikTok in January. Huge payoff to Trump, Donald Trump. And, you know, I testified on behalf of the child Franklin they had been abusing back in 2019 in court. Actually took out a protective order against, essentially it was really against the company, but it was by specific people against their company. And then, but you know, the company, I mean, Silver Lake's founded off of child porn. So for any of you who've been victims of Epstein, you know, if you're not a communist, you're going to want to get off of TikTok. And this all came out in The Guardian and then like a bunch of English papers. I'm sure they're going to try to go through like tonight or tomorrow and erase all the stories, but it hit the news today. So it's like all over. Hi. But it's important to note that, you know, when I was on TikTok, because I covered it last season, I got off of it and don't want to go back. It's not that successful. Instagram's a lot more successful and a much better site. I was trying to think if Instagram was controlled by Endeavor. I don't know that it is, but they definitely try to like hack it. They definitely try to hack YouTube and do hack YouTube, so. But I was really popular on TikTok, but what I saw was that on TikTok there was a lot of communist propaganda. General Gerasimov's daughter was on it, which turned out to be Megan Thee Stallion. You know, the Russian FSB, Chinese CCP were all over it, spreading hate. And frankly, trying to get in fights with everybody. I wouldn't waste your time on it. It's just important to note that, you know, a lot of what's supposed to be entertainment in the U.S. is supposed to be for fun and enjoyable, and you're really talking about a nasty hate group that, you know, they don't want you to go out, they don't want you to have fun, and in fact, more importantly, what's really weird is I used to think they wanted you to admire them in their shows, but with what Patrick said, or Michael Swanberg, or Emmanuel, even what Caroline Silver and Sam Silver said, and some of the other people who are involved, is they don't want people to actually enjoy entertainment. They actually specifically took it over to make it bad. This is why they constantly like screw up Olympic ceremonies and make those bad and not enjoyable. Um, and when I tell people more than anyone would know, like how many of you just enjoy some of the stuff and watch it, and when thinking of it would like move on, but they instead make too big a deal out of it, so people end up like seeing it for what it is, which is just deliberate hate mongering. It's really weird. It's very much like a psychological condition called showing your shit for comic borderlines, but this is definitely Russian FSB Chinese CCP obfuscation. So, and Trump said he's aware of it and just doesn't care. You know, he doesn't care about the labor trafficking or the child abuse because he doesn't care. He's a pedophile. So, just move on. But, you know, so there's a double standard of racism, huge payday from a pedophile company, Silver Lake, and I mean, I'm just saying, like, where's the SEC on this? You know, because you're looking at an antitrust case pretty clearly here. But, I mean, I got kicked off of TikTok literally. I mean, I was happy to go. I knew I was going to get kicked off anyways, but I just thought it was kind of funny. I posted literally a picture of myself talking about how, you know, you wouldn't want to work too hard for a man or, you know, value yourself, like that kind of stuff that women like to do. This one, like this.
I don't fight for a man who belongs to the streets. If you can take him, take him. High-value women don't audition for a role they already own. Listen to me. I am not a security guard. I don't protect property that doesn't want to stay in the yard. Because if I have to fight for you, I don't want you. A man who is easily taken is not a partner. He is public property. I don't fight for...
Right, so, like, I just made that because of I just thought it'd be fun to put it on TikTok. I also put it on Instagram, Facebook, I put it on YouTube. Like, literally, everybody thought it was great, really fun. Like, I showed it to some friends. I thought it was really cute, you know, fun piece of work. But TikTok, like, they flipped out and said it was too sexual. That's literally Caroline Silver getting on there and getting mad at me. It was literally her. I could tell. And I don't really have to sit around and point to a lot of evidence on it. Like, the acquisition was enough. This has happened before. Frankly, there was a long investigation. The U.S. government went, yes, Endeavor Corp is spending a huge amount of time harassing and attacking you and other victims of abuse and not wanting to let you have social media or really anything. And, like, they don't even want us to have jobs. And the government's just... I don't know what's wrong with the rest of the U.S. government, but something has to change because it isn't actually okay for them to do that to the rest of us. You know, to ruin housing, to ruin our careers and employment, where the rest of us are just people that want to work and have responsible jobs, you know, and pay our bills. We're not trying to do anything special. It's just beyond ridiculously weird. So, let's see. So yeah, iHip News declared they think Donald Trump will actually die probably this year, within the next 5 years at most. They're more concerned about what he's created and problems. Yeah, he's made a lot of money off of pedophilia. You do have to worry about the neocons because they focus a lot on perversion, organ trafficking, labor trafficking, drug trafficking, child trafficking. But this administration is a joke. And no, I don't worry about any of them and their safety or anything that happens to them. I'm actually worried about the rest of us surviving them. Kristi Noem was bad enough. So the new DH secretary doesn't seem like he's going to do anything to help anyone. Doesn't really seem like he's going to get out there hurt anyone too much either. So something will have to change. The Trumps have made too many messes. The U.S. government is overdrawn a number of bills, is one way to put it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, where's the SEC and the FBI on any of these issues? Is Kash Patel is just going to say whatever the FBI wants? Like, I'm 45 people. I'm sick of waiting. I'm with all these other people that have just left the U.S. and are tired of it. So, but yeah, the UVA shooting, that was Caroline Silver of Silver Lake. So, all these terrorist attacks and recent events have been tied to Silver Lake, rubbing up to the Academy Awards. I mean, it's like, where's the oversight? Like, what's wrong, people? Because I mean, do they even know what they're doing for jobs down in DC anymore or what? Because I'm not impressed right now. I lived down there for 19 years. I saw a lot of people that didn't, they just didn't know how to do their jobs. Let's see, let's look at the SEC. Yeah, SEC, like, why is there no, like, what's going on? Securities and Exchange Commission. Protect investors maintaining for orderly and efficient markets. Timothy McVeigh is on the loose. Like, why is he free? I mean, I don't care if the guy dresses up as a character. Everybody knows he's like dresses as David Barnes, and he's also got his alias as Chris Evans free. Like, what are you doing? Because that's Hollywood. It's Timothy McVeigh. It's literally the Unabomber going to a party. Like, it's just not fun to watch. It's not entertaining. It's gross and weird. It's Rachel McAdams like breaking into people's homes and raping them and being a smelly old woman who wears like old clothes from the Chinese Russian shops in Traverse City. Like, it's just weird. Icky. And they can't understand why they're out stealing clothes from people because the designers won't dress them anymore. It's kind of funny. But yeah, the one I showed you the picture of, it's got a child, at least one child in its possession I know that's been raping and beating on. So it's supposed to be Paulus Atkins. This is March 2026. But he just doesn't seem to be doing anything for anyone. Yeah, Katherine Heigl, been up in Michigan, also an active terrorist, worked at Oracle, is a man. I think may actually also be Frederick Steiner. I'm starting to think that the two are mixed. But anyways, this show might actually get done kind of early today. I got some other stuff I gotta do, so I think, you know, kind of like a rash of events, and I don't even know what else went around in other parts of the country. Of course, I care about Virginia because I used to live down there and I went to UVA. And then I also, I would have loved to have gone to Old Dominion and finished up my nursing degree. That would have been nice, but anyways, one thing I'll say about Virginia is they don't have as much structure, like not as many food banks or resources for people if there's problems, but anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and to sing, I think. Yeah, I saw this because I did have meetings and talked to Aunt Bonnie years ago. She was such a nut. She told me she didn't want me to go out and see people or like interact, and she said no one was supposed to be able to do that. So she's totally the kind of person that like would send a terrorist group. Like, she'd send a Muslim shooter after you for going to a bar. She would. And it's just very oppressive and a fascist. And it's not someone that you know, and not honest at all. So, and she was just totally, you know, said she didn't want me to go out or see people or interact. No, there'll be no haircutting. And, you know, it's just one of those things where I don't think anyone really, it's just so inappropriate and weird to have somebody like that. Like, we all just have to kind of wait until Trump's out of office, I guess. Should we go back to the rest of our lives? Like, that doesn't really seem like a good thing. It's too fast. It's too fascism. But, you know, he'll be gone soon enough, I guess, so. Definitely part of the religious zealot groups that want to oppress everyone. And they talk about, I mean, he's trying to stir up anti-Republican talk on the Hill. That, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's like, now he's like mad at Muslims, and you think, how does that even make sense when his business partners are Muslim and he's like literally in occult devices himself, as far as I can tell? Like, he's just into weird Russian KGB dork. That, you know, it's hate group in the Jewish community, it's a hate group in the Christian community, it's a hate group in the Muslim community. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Nope, won't be doing anything with my hair. Don't talk to me about my hair. Actually, you know what? You're going to be hidden. Bye-bye. No, I like my hair just the way it is. I was looking at it recently. I'd already trimmed it. And I was like, this is good. I really like this. Took my love when I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the stone-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and. Sorry. Okay. And I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Take my love and I take it down. climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection and the snow-covered hills, so a landslide will bring you down. And if you see my reflection and the snow-covered hills, oh, the landslide brought you down. The landslide brought you down. I do Elastic Heart from Sia. That's a good one.
Take flavors.
I originally worked that song, as you probably know by now. Sia doesn't actually sing, so. But I do have to go do something else this evening, so I probably won't be here as long as we would normally. Hope you've all enjoyed it on this Saturday in the USA. But. And another one bites the dust. Oh, why can I not conquer love? And I might have thought that we were one. I wanted to fight this war without weapons. And I wanted it bad. But there were so many red flags. Now another one bites the dust. Yeah, let's be clear, I'll trust no one. You did not break me. I'm still fighting for peace. Well, I've got a thick skin and an elastic heart, but your blade it might be too sharp, like a rubber band, until you pull too hard. I may snap and I may fast. You won't see me fall apart, 'cause I'm not an elastic heart. I've got an elastic heart. Yeah, I've got an elastic heart. And I will stay up through the night. Yeah, let's be clear, I'll close my eyes. And I know that I can survive. I walk through fire to save my life. I want my life so bad. I'm doing everything I can. And then another one bites the dust. It's hard to lose a chosen one. You did not break me. I'm still fighting for peace. Oh, I've got thick skin and an elastic heart, but your blade it might be too sharp, like a rubber band until you pull too hard. I may snap and I move past. You won't see me fall apart, 'cause I'm not an elastic heart. Well, I've got thick skin and an elastic heart, but your blade it might be too sharp. I'm like a rubber band until you pull too hard. I may snap and I will pass. You won't see me fall apart, 'cause I'm not an elastic heart. Well, I've got thick skin and an elastic heart, but your blade it might be too sharp, like a rubber band tell you hold too hard. I may snap, but I will pass. You won't see me from afar. 'Cause I've got endless secrets. I've got endless secrets. Yeah, just like randomly. I mean, the fashion thing is even weirder because at one point, this was in the 2000s, I was sent a bag from Gucci, and apparently Fatina had to like send it to me. It was an $8,000 bag. But she said it was just a cheap bag she got at a knockoff store. Turned out it was a Gucci bag for $8,000. I ended up just giving it away eventually after using it for a number of years. I kept it for a while. But it was just typical of them when I was going through a lot of labor trafficking issues and abuse that they would like devalue things. And one of the things they did was crap like, Fatima, who's also Jackie Wilkie at Luther College, you may have known as a professor. She worked with the actress Allison Hannigan, also Ava Max, like just lied and said it wasn't worth anything and that it was just a cheap purse. Of course, Gucci found out about that and was pissed off. And so I ended up explaining just for Gucci so they would know what I'd been told about it and what had happened, that also had been threatened over the purse because it had like a horse bit shape on it. Nobody I've ever known thought I did the right, like, it would have been the right thing to try to sell it for a lot of money based on my situation. Giving it away was the best thing. It was the right thing literally to do it that way. But they couldn't understand, nobody could understand at first why. It was like, well, you did the wrong thing. No, I did it right. The Gucci symbol at the time was associated with S&M. And I wanted to get away from anything that would mean that. So I'm just letting you know if any of you do, have a situation, like, they're two different concepts, but it's like, nobody really knew until I went through all that the Gucci bags were associated with, like, prostitution and sex trafficking and the horse bit thing. So, like, I wouldn't buy anything Gucci, honestly, now because of it. But, I didn't know that because she didn't properly tell me that. She didn't tell me it was a Gucci bag. I didn't have the label on anymore because she'd taken it off. And then it was probably something she'd earned as a prostitute, given to me. If I could go back in time, I would have sold the bag for more money. I wouldn't have just, given it away. But, and she also, went and painted a bunch of nail polish and crap on it. She really offended Gucci. And this is Allison Hannigan, too, if you're wondering about it, other actresses that would be. Who is not a good actress and sucks, and neither is her Ava Max character, but she's a Russian FSB person, wants to provide crappy media and weird fake stories and just changes herself around and harasses and attacks people. It's gross. Like Rachel McAdams, same thing. It's gross old women from Russia. It's what Hollywood's turned into. They want to CGI themselves and pretend they're not weird. Or there was also, the way that Caroline Silver and Sam Silver, and this is Silver, used to say there was no money. They're well, no, Hollywood, you can't make it in. It's too hard. It's well, it's clearly being trafficked to Hollywood for, millions of dollars for them to make. So it doesn't even make sense. There's bizarre people that, don't value others, and you wouldn't want to sort of cast your pearls before, is what I would say about that. And the fact that the fashion industry took a stand against them, and then, literally most of Hollywood, they're sick of. Stop giving it to them, and then would start giving them, giving their projects or themselves, or whatever you want to call it, the gift of themselves to the rest of the world for $2 sometimes, just to, get at them, get back at them. And the way that they blame me, and literally was being beaten and raped on by Michael Swanberg and these other guys, how dare you have any of this stuff, as trying to protect their clients, Rachel McAdams especially, or Fatina Jackie Wilkie, who's Allison Hannigan. I could go through. There's J-Lo, same thing. It's just very, very weird, and it's not being addressed yet by the U.S. government properly. I think it's just mostly being addressed by U.S. consumers, literally rejecting them. The other weird thing I've noticed is that J-Lo did an ad that she actually spent money on using similar imaging from my album cover recently. And I'm sure there's someone who's stupid enough to think, oh, hey, this would be a lawsuit. It's really not. It's just a sign of how pathetic she is. And somehow she manages to still look bad, even when she's copied it. Some of the scam I went through was that they kept claiming that the stuff was supposed to be stolen from me and used for lawsuits for me. And then they kept erasing the material. So I have more than enough evidence now, I guess, to do like a trademark lawsuit, you know. Remember Trump? He was really big on trademark lawsuits, but then he never wants anybody else to have one. It's just very weird because a lot of the media has been set up that, like, they only do lawsuits with people who have setups to have them. And they don't want to give, like, the actual lawsuits to the victims, like, actual victims. And the government's still trying to figure out how to charge all these people for felonies. I don't know. I think we're still back to, still need to pick up Michael Swanberg, Michael Kroll, Caroline Silver, Sam Silver, Patrick Witzel, Art Emanuel. Like, these people all still need to go to prison or be executed. And it really is considering executing them. You know, Bill Clinton, Hillary. Like, I don't think we need Pam Bondi at all for anything. It's a mess. It's a disaster. Anyways.
Say it again.
Bundle and say why.
I'm gonna sing Chandelier by Sia. Well, that I think originally for Sia, but it's the mood I'm in today. I'm actually just waiting for commercials to finish playing.
$9.99 is Domino's best deal.
Ooh. I love pizza. Pretty girls don't get hurt. Can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, I push it down. And the one where getting time call phones blowing up and ringing my doorbell. I feel the love, I feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. I'm gonna fly. I don't like the line. I don't like the way I interpreted it. I'm gonna redo that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until the morning light. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Help me, I'm holding on for your life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until the morning light. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. On for tonight. Cause up and I'm a mess. Gotta get out now, gotta run from this. Here comes the shame, here comes the shame. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist. I'm gonna on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light. Cause I'm just holding on to tonight. Tell me I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Okay. Waiting for commercial. I might just do a couple more and then I'll probably get out of here. Because I'm gonna get on to something else today. Oh. Song nobody really wants to hear or even think about anymore. The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish people do. Oh, I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. Oh, I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. You wait, what I want love. Hi. You wait, wanna fall in love with you. With you. What a wicked game you play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to let me dream of you. And what a wicked thing to say. You never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. And I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I nobody loves no one.
Tired of radical left? Michigan needs money.
We do Audio Slaves, Lego Stone. On a cobweb afternoon in a room full of emptiness by freeway, I confess I was lost in the pages of a book full of death, reading how we'll die alone, and if we're good, we'll lay to rest anywhere we want to go. In your house, I long to be, room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there. And on my deathbed, I will pray to the gods and the angels like a pagan, to anyone who will take me to heaven, to a place I recall. I was there so long ago. The sky was bruised, the wine was wet, and there you led me on. In your house I long to be, room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there, alone, alone. And on I read until the day was gone, and I sat in regret of all the things I've done, and for all that I've lost, and all that I've wronged, in dreams until my death. I will wander on in I'm gonna go ahead and do Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God. Doesn't hurt me. You wanna feel how it feels. Do you wanna know that it doesn't hurt me? Do you wanna hear about that deal that I'm making? It's you and me. And if I don't like God, I make a deal with God, and I get him to swap our places. Running up that road, you're running up that hill, you're running up that building. Say if I don't like God. You wanna hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies. I know where I'm turning your sun down. Oh, there is thunder in our hearts. There's so much hate for the ones we love. Oh, tell me we both matter, don't we? It's you and me. It's you and me. Won't be unhappy. And if I only could and make a deal with God, and I get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, running up that building. Say I only could. It's you and me. It's you and me. Won't be unhappy. And oh, come on, baby. And oh, come on, darling. And let me steal this moment from you now. Oh, come on, angel. Oh, come on, darling. And let's exchange the experience. Really could make a deal with God. I get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill with no problems. See if I could make a deal with God. I get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up the hill with no problems. Say if I could make a deal with God, I get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill with no problems. Say if I only could be running up that hill with no problems. If I only could be running up that hill. If I only Should I do Whitney Houston? Should I sing some Whitney Houston songs? Should I do, you guys are funny. Should I do Britney Spears, like every time? Jolene? I got some songs I kind of always do. We're gonna do From This Moment. What do you think? Shania Twain? I do some Shania Twain.
At Kroger Pharmacy,
From this moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one. Right beside you is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment, at last, I live only for your happiness and for your love. I give my last breath from this moment on. I give my dear, my heart. And I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give from this moment on. Ooh. You're the reason I believe in love, and you're the answer to my prayers from up above. All we need is just the two of us. My dreams came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give. From this moment, I will love you. As long as I live, from this moment on. I meant to tell you all something. I stopped using Eco hair product. I don't know if like this makes any sense to you. Like the last thing anyone you want to hear about is eco hair product. But like I decided the company was tied too much to terrorism. It was a product that was given to me by, I mean this is really weird, but Jennifer Garner Slash, who also is Cameron Diaz because she plays like both characters, is actually a dude, recommended to me when I was at, so weird, living up at the shelter in Traverse City. I started using it, but frankly, stopped buying it, is what I'm going to say, because I noticed that it was used for too much signaling around the terrorist attacks up there. And for some reason, it's because it says it has black castor and flaxseed oil on it. So there's like a weird keyword thing now with flaxseed oil. So I just quit using it. I like threw it out. Also, I don't know about the rest of you, but I found that there's always like phases in my life where it's like I'm on like a weird ramp up of beauty products. Like, because I was using like 3. I have a cream I put in my hair to control it, and then I use that, and then I also put on hairspray sometimes. And I'm still like out of the day sometimes like grabbing like lotion or something for my hair to get to like calm down because I have mixed people hair, right? And I think, well, the ego can't really be that good if I still have that issue. So, and then there's the weird like terroristy like potential to it. So I just threw it out. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what it means to some of these groups. I don't want to know. I'm not in the freaking cult of ISIS, so I just threw it out. Like, easy. Find something else to use. It doesn't have weird connotations to it, so. But I think that might be about it for today. I'm pretty much done. I know it's a little early, but I'll be here on Tuesday. We'll be, jamming away, doing a St. Patrick's Day concert. It'll definitely be like not before 5 o'clock on Tuesday. So I'm sure most of you who have jobs who have to travel home, you can always watch it, or you can just, or you can watch it afterwards, and hopefully you'll donate some on Venmo or whatever. That's all I really have to say about it. But Tuesday will be St. Patrick's Day concert. I'm not sure if I'll do another show tomorrow or not. Maybe we'll have like a chat tomorrow. We'll see. I've got some other stuff I gotta do though, so I gotta get off of here. But I'll see y'all again soon here at YouTube. Deborah Casey. This has been another episode of Simply Stated Odds and Ends. So bye.